In this episode, we're going to talk about how to increase your YouTube channel authority. We're going to start out reviewing some comments from another YouTube expert, and we're going to take what he shares and apply it differently according to two different strategies, because there's two different types of YouTube channels that you might want to create. You'll come away knowing how to create the best type of content for your core subscriber, and you'll also come away knowing how you can create the best content for people who've never heard of you before but are searching for you. So let's dive right in. The inspiration for this episode came from another episode by Nate Black. Now, Nate Black is pretty well known. We agree on some things, we disagree on other things, but this specific episode I think is fantastic, and it's something that you should really watch. So what I've created is a playlist. The playlist starts with Nate Black's video, and then it continues with this episode here. But you've already started to watch this episode, so I want to talk to you about chapters first. So after you watch Nate's episode, then it will go to this episode. You'll be back here watching this, but you'll want to skip this intro. If you look down at the bottom of the screen, whether you're on mobile, you just tap the screen and the progress bar will appear there. Well, as you slide your finger over different areas or hover your mouse over different points of the video, a description of different chapters pop up. I use chapters in all of my videos, so if you ever happen to be watching one of my episodes and I'm covering something that you've already heard before, you can actually skip ahead to the next chapter. So if you really want to know how to increase your YouTube channel authority, click up here. I'll link to the playlist right there. Watch Nate Black's video, and then I'll see you right back here. I thought that Nate Black's description about different audiences was really helpful. He talked about the core, then key fringe, then out of fringe. When I watched his video, I admit I really understood what he was talking about, but when I took notes on that, it was kind of hard for me to grasp. So the way that I look at those things is, one, you've got your core subscribers. I like the word core, and I think of these people as your raving fans. These are people that are going to want to watch every single episode you put out. But depending on the type of strategy you follow, if you're following the Nate Woodbury strategy or the Daryl Eves strategy, you can actually annoy even your raving fans. And so you've got to create the right type of content. So stick with me as I explain the difference here and paint this picture. So look at your audience as your core audience, your raving fans, then your casual subscribers. So somebody who liked your content enough to subscribe to it, but maybe they don't watch very often. Maybe they'll watch an episode from you every once in a while. But then you've got those people who were searching for you. They didn't know you existed, but they were searching for your expertise, and they found you on YouTube. And that was the most important thing. They needed to find you one time. That's actually one of the most valuable audiences there are, those people who are searching for you, even if they don't subscribe to your YouTube channel, because they found you, they became a lead, and now they're a client or a customer of yours. So let's take a step back and talk about the two different types of channels. You can have a channel that's 100% focused on nurturing your subscribers, or you can have a channel that's primary focus is search and generating leads through YouTube search. It's so valuable. Now, one strategy isn't better than another, but you need to know what strategy you're focusing on, because these two strategies don't mix. So let me give you a little bit more context. I'll talk more about this strategy right now, and then I'll dive into this strategy second. So over here, let's just look at the largest YouTube channel on YouTube. It's Mr. Beast, right? He's got 350 million subscribers, and his content is definitely meant to nurture. He's built a huge subscriber base, and he wants to make sure that if he creates a new episode, that those 350 million people are going to love it. It would be crazy for him to create a video for a different audience that this core audience of 350 million wouldn't like. So when I mention it that way, it makes sense, right? He's really got to nurture and create content for that core audience. But this other strategy where you have a business and you're leveraging YouTube to generate leads for the business, we're leveraging YouTube as a tool, and it's an amazing tool. And yeah, you'll have some raving fans, those core subscribers on your channel, and you want to continue to nurture those. But the main focus of your channel is to pull in new people. Every single episode, every month in the future, you're having more and more people join your email list and finding you. So the way that I've displayed this here, there are three different types of videos. Now, every single one of these is delivered in a very similar way. The content is pretty identical, but there are two main differences in the purpose of each of these videos. For a marketing video, the main source of traffic is search. These marketing videos, in order for them to really be a marketing video, they need to be in front of people who've never heard of you before. A nurture video, they have to know you already for you to then be able to nurture them. So they're already on your email list, or they're already a subscriber on YouTube. And what I'm calling a conversion or a convert video here is one that takes a viewer and turns them into a lead. So they leave YouTube, they go to your website, and they give you their contact information, usually because you're giving them a free gift or a free resource. And what these red arrows represent is the call to action at the end of each episode. So if you have a convert video, the call to action takes people away from YouTube and sends them to your website. Whereas a market or nurture video, typically your call to action is to go and watch one of your converting videos. Now, if you're creating a channel like Mr. Beast, then 100% of your content is going to be nurture. You don't worry about these other two. But if you're leveraging YouTube for lead generation, then you're going to have a big focus. At least 50% of your episodes are going to be marketing videos, and the other 50% are going to be nurture videos with an occasional conversion video in there. Let's go back to talk about what Nate Black was sharing in his video about these different audiences and the outer fringe. Now, the outer fringe is actually really, really risky. If the algorithm decides to have your video kind of go viral and get a lot more views, it's going to start targeting more of this outer fringe. But if it's the wrong video, you can attract the wrong audience. And then what becomes your core is off course. So your core audience, your core subscriber is very, very important. It's important to nurture them and give them the content that they want. And it's critical to pay attention to who these people are so that if something like this happens, you won't be taken off course and you can redirect it immediately. So let me share a story of how this happened to me. On another channel called Nate Woodbury, I was making content similar to this one, okay, talking about YouTube strategy. That was my core content. But for my core audience, I made a video about why I hire people in the Philippines. Now that content was well liked by my core audience. However, it really took off and it went out to this outer fringe audience. I'd say it even went beyond that, and it started getting a lot of views, thousands at first, then tens of thousands, then hundreds of thousands of views from people in the Philippines who loved that I was promoting their country. A lot of people in the Philippines wanted me to hire them. So my core audience previously loved YouTube strategy, but my core audience grew and expanded because I didn't catch this soon enough. This was several years ago, and that episode ended up getting 1.5 million views, and I made several other videos appealing to this Filipino audience. What that ended up doing is drastically shifting who my core audience was, and so when I would make a video on YouTube strategy, my core subscribers did not like that content, and so the algorithm was thinking, wow, why are you abandoning your core audience? Well, it was different from my original, it had shifted. So if you're following the Nate Woodbury lead generation strategy on YouTube and you're really focusing heavily on search, then you've got to have a good balance. You want to have a balance between your marketing videos and your nurture videos. You've got to make sure that this nurture video is content that your core audience will really, really love, and you've got to monitor that and see, does this do anything else? Is this attracting new people? Are these new subscribers that this video is bringing to my channel, is it healthy? Is it the type of subscriber that I want? So now that I've learned my lesson on this, anytime that this happens, and it doesn't happen very often, but when a video takes off, you need to really analyze who is this audience. And if the audience is going in the wrong direction, you take that video down. You've got to see what this looks like. Now this is Jason Schroeder. This is a report that you can create within YouTube Analytics. It's an advanced report, and I'm doing a comparison side by side. So we're looking at a 90-day period. And the exact dates don't matter. I'm just showing you 90 days compared to the 90 days prior. So blue is the last 90 days and purple is the 90 days prior to that. And specifically, we're looking at traffic source, YouTube search. Search is the most valuable traffic for lead generation, okay? So check this out. The previous 90-day period had 79,000 views from search traffic. Super, super valuable to have that much. And what's exciting to see is the next quarter, the next 90 days, had 87,000. So it increased from 79 to 87. Let me show you another example in a complete different industry. This is Nicolene Peck. She teaches parenting. We're comparing a 28-day period to the 28 days prior to that. And if you look, it was 25 or almost 26,000 views that 28 days. That increased to 28,000 views the next month. Let me show you a really cool feature that's built into YouTube that lets you distinguish between a marketing video and a nurturing video. All right, so this is an episode I have scheduled to launch 2 days from now. If I click on edit and you scroll all the way down to the bottom, you have to hit show more, scroll. Right here, publish to subscriptions feed and notify subscribers. Now, I talk a lot about YouTube SEO on this channel, and so it might be irritating for current subscribers to be notified about another YouTube SEO video because it's a little bit repetitive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to uncheck that box right there because I don't want to publish this to my subscribers or to my subscriptions feed. So for videos that are really meant to market, which means I'm putting them in front of people who've never heard of me before, people that are searching, don't know that I exist yet, but are going to find these videos. It's so important to make videos like that, right? So that's what this video is that I'm creating, and that's why I've unselected that checkbox, basically to indicate this is a marketing video versus a nurture video. I would want to check that box because I want to notify my subscribers because it's a video that they will love, that I'm really going to nurture them with. So hopefully that really paints a picture on how you can build authority. There's 2 different ways to do it. And in my opinion, especially if you're using YouTube for lead generation, the easiest way to build channel authority is to create content that your audience is already searching for. And I want to teach you how to find that. You can find out what content people are searching for, and then make content that they will love, and therefore really build high channel authority. So I'm going to link to another video right here. It's called the YouTube SEO Secret Strategy. You definitely need to go watch that video next to learn how to build channel authority. I'll see you there.